Hi, in this lesson, we're going to take our first look into the realm of color. Some people say that color is to seeing what flavor is to eating. It gives us pleasure, it gives us harmonies and relationships we could not have in any other way. Color, however, is not an easy subject, but you can master it if you understand the basic principles behind it. So, in this lesson, we're going to take a look at the properties of color, what makes color, and how can we deal with color relationships. So, let's take a look at the properties of color in the first place. There are three basic properties of color. The first one is hue. Hue is the color itself. So, red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, pink, they are all hues, okay? Each one of them is a separate hue. The second property we're going to look into is saturation. Saturation can be considered the degree of purity of a given color. So the more grayed this color is, the less saturated it is. The more pure, the more saturated. And the third property of a color is brightness. Brightness is the degree of lightness or darkness you have on a given color. So the more black you mix into this color, the less bright it is, and the more white you mix, the brighter it is. Okay? So we have these three properties composing each and every color you see in nature. So whatever color you see, try to judge it by asking yourself, what is the hue? Is it saturated? How bright or dark it is? Now let's take a look at the color wheel. The color wheel is a great visual aid to help us understand colors and colors relationships. It is usually organized in a successive manner to help us understand color gradations and also color opposites. It's really easy to understand this by looking at the color wheel. Let's take a look at some of the most basic color schemes which will help us understand all the other more complex color schemes. The first one is the primary color scheme. Primary colors are yellow, red, and blue when we talk about pigment, and red, green, and blue when we talk about light. Let's consider red, yellow, and blue here so it makes it easier for us to understand color and color relationships. So, primary colors has this name because they are the first colors. They cannot be mixed from any other colors. And red, yellow, and blue, when mixed, they originate all other colors. If you mix them in pairs, we have the secondary colors. So if you mix yellow and red, you have orange. If you mix yellow and blue, you have green. And if you mix red and blue, you have the purple. Secondary colors are very vibrant, but less vibrant than the primary colors. Okay? Let's take a look now. If you mix primary and secondary, you have tertiary colors. Okay? And every time you mix these colors, you are making them less vibrant, less pure, but these colors are still considered very pure because they are mixed from pure hues. Okay? So we have the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, and you can see that this completes our color wheel. Now let's take a look at some other combinations we can take out from our color wheel. Let's take a look at the complementary colors. Complementary colors are colors opposed in the color wheel. So yellow, purple, red, and green, orange, and blue are all complementary to each other. This means that whenever they are put together side by side, they enhance each other in terms of vibration and luminosity. But if you mix them, you make them less pure and darker. Okay? So it's very important to understand this relationship between complementary colors, because if you mix or if you put them side by side, they will have very different effects on each other. And there are other more advanced color schemes which will give us amazing effects on our images. Let's take a look at some of these color schemes in our next lesson.